did you hear the news?
No, what?
Israel and Gaza have a ceasefire.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, girl, this time it's actually happening.
Oh my god, that is amazing.
I know, right? It's incredible.
Like, how did it happen?
It was Trump's peace deal. It finally went through.
I'm sorry, what?
I know, isn't it amazing? Like, no more genocide. It's so great.
Tiffany,
Like,
did I hear that right? You said it's because of
Trump's new peace deal. Yeah, that's the reason.
Wow.
It's like finally over.
Oh my god, that's...
Isn't that incredible?
So great.
I mean, Trump might get the Nobel Peace Prize.
So great.
Well, don't be shy. Tell me, how do you feel right now?
I am like so ecstatic.
Wait, really?
Right now.
You don't seem very happy about it.
I am, can't you tell?
No, you look mad.
I am so happy.
Okay. Wait, are you sure? It's okay, you can tell me.
Like, what am I gonna do now?
What do you mean?
Well, like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna complain about, Tiffany?
I thought you'd be super happy about this.
I'm sorry, could you just give me a fucking second, please?
Oh, okay.
Because I'm trying to understand, like, what do I do with my day?
What?
Do I get a job?
Well, yeah.
Ew.
Huh?
No,
What's the big deal?
like, what do I tweet about? What are my hashtags gonna be, Tiffany? I don't
You
fucking...
need to calm down.
I'm sorry, I'm getting really overwhelmed right now.
I can tell. It's okay, you can let it out.
Need a second.
Sure, I just thought you'd be happier, you know?
No, like, I am.
Okay.
Like, I'm so happy.
Right.
But I'm also super fucking pissed.
What? That doesn't make any sense. Why are you so upset?
Because they didn't think about me.
It's nothing to do with you, though.
You know?
Honestly, I feel like we should be celebrating, right?
What am I gonna do with my life, Tiffany? I don't know who I am.
Girl, what are you talking about?
God.
What is happening?
Ladies and gentlemen, it seems like it's a troll. I agree. But at the same time, I'm like, for all the people who are saying free, free Palestine, why aren't you saying we're happy it's free?
So where are the free Palestine people? Where are you guys at? Because all you've been spewing is free Palestine, end the war. And President Trump is ending the damn war. And you guys are very silent about it. I guarantee you, if Kamala Harris ended the Israel-Palestine war, you would have been parading and celebrating in the streets. I'm in New York City, and New York City would have been a huge celebration. But no, because Trump made this peace deal, you can't give him even an inkling of appreciation. You can't even give him an ounce of credit. It's crazy to me. If you don't like him as a person, cool. But you could be like, you know what? This is amazing. Because if the Democrats did this, do I like them? No. But if they did this, I'd be like, you know what? Good for you. Good for you. But no, you can't do that. Where are you guys?
Why aren't you celebrating? It's like somebody else has to win for the peace prize to count.
I mean, whatever, I guess.
You know what this reminds me of? It's like during COVID, nobody was allowed to go outside, but because President Biden won, only Democrats were allowed to go outside and celebrate. I mean, you can see it right here on November. Yeah.
Hamas is already rounding up Palestinians and killing them less than 24 hours after the ceasefire deal. And my question to those pro-Palestinians that were marching for a whole 2 years, will you be protesting this weekend for the poor Palestinians that have been rounded up and killed by Hamas, innocent Palestinians, I should say? Will you be protesting for the 52,000 Nigerian Christians that died this year? Would you be protesting for the 1,000 Iranians that got hanged for political reasons? This was never about genocide because, as I said, free Palestine from Hamas. Because now you see what's happening. They're rounding up their own civilians and they're shooting them because they think they collaborated with Israel. Completely unfounded. They even killed Mr. Fafo, this Palestinian influencer that was very pro-Hamas, but they killed him within hours of the ceasefire deal going through. So if you guys are not protesting this weekend, then you are hypocrite.
And before you tell me it's not happening, group talkers, collaborators and traitors in a move that raises concern for disarmament considered crucial to ceasefire deal. Hamas carries out wave of Gaza unaliving citing crime and security concerns. Hamas shoots at Palestinian writers after abducting prominent Gaza clan member. And those are articles on the left-leaning side calling it out. Vengadilo, remember to subscribe.
So for 2 years, pro-Palestine individuals were terrorizing colleges, assaulting people that didn't agree with them, assaulting Jews for just being Jews, because they wanted a ceasefire and stop the genocide. Well, that's happened thanks to President Trump, and where's all the celebration for all that hard work? How come they're nowhere to be found celebrating the good news? It's almost as if It was never about that to begin with.
I mean, it might be because of the money or you don't have any purpose.
Well, guess what? Now we're in Congress and we're every corner of the United States. Y'all, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. They will never truly comprehend, Jama'ah, even after 7 decades, that we aren't going anywhere. We are just getting started. I want to say to all of them, every genocide enabler, look at this rooms, motherfuckers. We ain't going anywhere.
Where are you now?
Leftists, do you ever get tired of the hypocrisy? You say America is oppressive, but nobody ever leaves. You say capitalism is evil, but we know every one of y'all loves a good corporate pride sponsor for this year's Pride event. You believe in diversity, except when somebody is a LGBT or black conservative. You state that sexism is real, but gender is made up. That men are trash, but women are equal to men. You claim to support Black lives, but refuse to acknowledge the fatherlessness in homes, cultural issues, and overall gang violence in black communities, in the black demographic. Y'all claim to love self-expression when it comes to, certain things like gender identity and the way you dress until somebody disagrees with you. By the way, free speech is a form of self-expression too. It's not just the way you want to express yourself in drag that day. Don't y'all get tired of being all the things that you say that you hate? The anti-science, the bullying, the hateful, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, racist comments consistently made on your side. Don't you ever get tired of it? I'm just asking.
I've come to the conclusion that they actually want everything I have other than my job. And they either call it communism, socialism, or Marxism. In the end, they're the oppressed and I am not.
I hope so.
Okay.
A Church of England church had said there ought to be no women on our fun run fundraiser. You can bet your bottom dollar that heads would roll. Politicians would come out and openly criticise it. Right? Keir Starmer would be on the box saying that this was just discrimination in action. But when it's a mosque, the question is very quickly sidelined, muffled as culture. But ultimately, there's no religious exemption from equality when it comes to public events. So the councils should demand prior commitment to inclusion when actually allocating these public spaces for this kind of use. If the local authority had any balls, they would do just that, and I would do just that in that position.
And you might think that's not an issue. Well, the mayor of UK might disagree with you.
You released a statement the day after the protests, and at no point did you criticise the appalling behaviour we saw. You were unequivocal when you were talking about one particular protest last month, claiming that that was far right. Well, so why don't you describe these protests as clearly? Because they're not only plainly wrong, they are anti-Semitic.
Look, the difference, I would say respectfully, between the member and myself is I'm consistent. So the member argues for the right of the far right to protest, but criticises pro-Palestinians.
They're not far right. They wave flags like this. That does not make me far right. That makes me very patriotic, actually. So you immediately come down on those, and yet we have had these anti-Semitic comments constantly from these hate marches, and you don't comment on that at all.
If Kamala won, this would be normal in USA. And actually, I'm happy Trump won because even Biden could not stop this war, something that he tried for 4 freaking years.
So meanwhile, while the so-called Hitler is finding peace for Israel, the Democrats are still whining about him being an authoritarian Hitler, and while we're all watching the authoritarian Hitler bring peace to the entire world. The Democrats could not be losing harder than they are today. Today is peak losing for Democrats. They just got to shut up at this point. Just let it go. Right? Just let it go. There's nothing you should say right now except Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Mustache Man brought peace with Lebanon, Egypt, Syria, so many countries surrounding, and he made sure they made a deal. And I think the United Arabs, Qatar, Turkey, they're all involved.
Good morning from Gaza. This time it truly feels different and genuinely hopeful. We're standing at the edge of what we could finally be, a real ceasefire in Gaza, after both Israel and Hamas agreed to move forward with the first phase of Trump's plan. People here woke up to the news this morning, and I can almost hear their excitement spreading through camps and tents, calling from tent to tent, wake up, the war has stopped. I can hardly believe it. Just yesterday I stood here speaking about the war entering its third year. My heart heavy, my hope fading. But today I feel lighter, filled with cautious, maybe optimism. It may still be too early to celebrate, but we are finally seeing a glimpse of an ending to this long and painful war.
Ladies and gentlemen, even if the peace isn't sure, somebody in that country is giving you a feeling that it's better than anything that was in the past. And if that is not enough for people that scream, free, free Palestine.
When people are occupied.
And that is not enough to at least be like, you know what, I don't like you, but you did something beautiful for my people. That's like somebody saving my mom and I don't celebrate it because back in the day they cheated on me.
There is a talk that residents of northern Gaza may soon be able to return, possibly as early as tomorrow morning, which brings so much hope. I just pray these final hours before the ceasefire pass safely, especially as the bombardment has intensified across Gaza. And here we can say congratulations. Congratulations to the Palestinian people. Congratulations to Gaza. To every displaced and grieving soul. Mercy to our martyrs. Mercy to the souls of Anas al-Sharif and Muhammad al-Qurayqi. And to all those we wished could witness this moment with us.
I almost kind of cried. I'm just happy. I can empathize. I can sympathize. I'm just happy my prayers have been heard. If you don't believe in God, then believe in Trump. And if you didn't believe in Trump, at least believe in her. And just celebrate a little. Like, it's a step forward. Maybe not the one you liked, but it is it's not about you, it's about them.
Trump, I want to say thank you. You deserve a Nobel Peace Prize. You flew all over the Middle East today to make peace, and I'm shocked you haven't already won the Nobel Peace Prize because you truly deserve it. The war is finally over and my heart feels like it can finally be happy again. I haven't seen my family in 3 years and I'm so grateful that everyone is alive. And in the next 2 months, I'm finally going to fly to visit them. Thanks to you, Trump. Thanks to you. Thanks to you. So thank you. And anyone who's against you is just a bad person because no one else has ever made such a history in the Middle East the same as you did. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We all know Israel is surrounded by many countries that they don't agree socially, politically, or whatever. I don't even care who is the bully. There comes a point I'm like, you know what? I just don't want to see any wars.
But go back to your point about leftist violence. You have to understand this is not something new. This is not something that's randomly happening. It happened in China, it happened in Vietnam, it happened in Cuba, which I'm Cuban. So every single time the leftists take over, what do they want? Revolution. To what? Break down the status quo. How do they do that? Not through peace. They do it through revolution. Che Guevara, Fidel Castro, Pol Pot, Mao Zedong, Stalin. Every single time, that's how they do it. And you know who they use? All of you. They use the university students. They use leftists. The authoritarians, the strongmen, convinced the leftists to fight for them. It happened in Iran where the Ayatollah took over. It happened in Cuba with Castro. They get the leftists to disrupt and cause destabilization. Once they take power, they get rid of all of the leftists that help them get in power. Mao Zedong created the Red Guard. When he got in power, he said, all universities canceled. I want you to get my book. It's called The Little Red Book. Put it in your pocket and go around, and if any teacher has spoken out against me, I want you to tell the communist commissar we're going to arrest him and kill them. They did that. The army didn't step in. They allowed the protesters and the revolutionaries to do what they want. You know what Mao did after he got power? He said, I don't need any more destabilization. He sent them out into the fields to work, and 9 million of them died. That's what he's done. The Shah did it, the same thing to the leftists. The leftists are always, we call them the useful idiots. Not all of them, but the ones who are revolutionary. They are used to destabilize, to go after the young people in universities every single time, hundreds and hundreds of years. This is the same thing happening over again. This is not new. What you're experiencing is not new. It's just new to you. It's new to our age.
And that's why you realize that a lot of people worry so much about sending their skills to university and college, because there is where the education, the programming, indoctrination, whatever you want to call it, is happening. It is what it is.
If you don't play into the trans agenda, you're cast out as a bully.
You see, the useful idiots, the leftists who are idealistically believing in the beauty of Soviet socialist or communist or whatever system, when they get disillusioned, they become the worst enemies. That's why my KGB instructors specifically made the point, never bother with leftists.
But now with the internet, if you don't want to see it, you actually do it on purpose.
Free Palestine this, free Palestine that. Well, Donald Trump just did that. Are you going to thank him? I know those on the left are a little slow, so I'm going to say it one more time. Free Palestine this, free Palestine that. Donald Trump just did that. Are you going to thank him? Because Donald Trump just did, in 10 months, what Joe Biden could not do in 4 years.
I can't say that didn't hurt.
Y'all called him unconventional. Y'all called him unpresidential. Well, now, the only thing y'all ought to be calling him is a peacemaker. It's exactly what he is.
If I have to be honest, I'm really curious what is the next thing that they're going to protest.
But there's going to be sins in protest. You'll be sitting next to a guy who's going to go and penetrate and sodomize another guy tonight. And you're gonna expect Allah to give you victory because you're standing next to a guy who's gonna literally insert his genitals into another man's back passage. Does that make sense? And these are the guys who have called for. If you feel like that's where victory is gonna come from, well, okay, I'm not even here to debate you on that. Let's talk about the exclusion. But I'm saying at least this dua thing, like I'm saying, the Prophet said, the one who stays from one salah to another salah, waiting from one salah to another salah, ذَلِكُمُ الرِّبَاطِ ذَلِكُمُ الرِّبَاطِ ذَلِكُمُ الرِّبَاطِ. That is ribat. The ribat is.
Well, they're not gonna protest that. They will never protest that. They will just find a different thing that is more acceptable to the narrative. But I don't think they will find anything.
Maybe you should pay your employees more too then.
We pay pretty well.
I mean, I know someone's here working on their birthday.
Is it someone's birthday today?
You don't even know your own employees.
I don't know everyone's birthday. It's Colton's birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Colton.
birthday.
Congratulations. Adults work on their birthday. I'm going to cry for him.
I work on a nonprofit, and at least they give us our birthdays off.
If he wanted to request it, he could have.
I wouldn't have to request it off.
Choice. Okay, if they want to treat you like children, they can.
How is it treating like children? It's more of like
a birthday. Who gives a You have one every single year.
It's just called caring for people. I guess you don't understand that.
You're right. I'm forcing him to have a week off in, what, 2.5 weeks?
Good.
So I guess that's not
good. Maybe
caring.
make it 2.
And I'm losing revenue for that because we're not uploading that week.
I mean, that's totally fine. At least you still have the ability to lose a week. Because if I don't work a week, it's a struggle.
Yeah, but I'm making that sacrifice of me making less money in order to force everyone to have time off.
I mean, just you saying that is very much like an out-of-touch statement.
So I'm removing my comment that I don't think they will find the reason.
So I can't help but notice that all the leftists who've spent the last 2 years squawking about a ceasefire in Gaza, y'all have gotten awful quiet over there. All of the hostages have been released. There are no more Israeli bombs being dropped on Gaza. Children are no longer being used as human shields. It is done. Y'all got what you wanted. Columbia University should be a freaking block party right now. Y'all should be celebrating in the street. Everybody who spent the past 2 years standing outside of congressional offices, screaming and ranting and raving like lunatics, you guys should be having the time of your lives right now. And you're not. And your silence tells me everything that I already knew. This was never about saving human lives. This was never about Gazan children. Y'all hate Donald Trump so much you can't even give him an ounce of credit when he delivers exactly what you've been asking for the past 2 years. You hate Donald Trump. You hate the Jews. You want an excuse to protest and riot because you have no lives, and you never wanted peace. You wanted a war so that you could politicize it. And now you don't have one. So I can't help but notice that all the leftists who've spent the last 2 years squawking about a ceasefire in Gaza, y'all have gotten awful quiet over there. All of the hostages have been released. There are no more Israeli bombs being dropped on Gaza. Children are no longer being used as human shields. It is done. Y'all got what you wanted. Columbia University should be a freaking block party right now. Y'all should be celebrating.
They will find another war to politicize it. But if the Nigerian Christians, they won't.
Don't get me wrong, ma cosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde, kush hash, purple skunk, criollo, colombici, jam jam, durloqueta, verdetta, welcome.